Hello friends, welcome to the Technical Study Place. In this video, we will see about the features of Java. The first feature is simple. Okay, Java is easy to learn and its syntax is quite simple and easy to understand. The confusing concepts of C++ are either left in Java or they have been re-implemented in an easier way. As it is telling, Java is very easy, but in reality it is not that much easy also. If you understand the program and the concepts and the syntax, then only it is easy. The confusing concepts of C++ are either left in Java or they have been re-implemented in easier way. Okay. As we know that the Java has been developed using C++ concepts and features. So whatever the difficult concepts are there in C++, that has been either left in the C++ or it has been re-implemented in a very easier way in Java. So for example, pointers and operator overloading are not there in Java, but were an important part in C++. So pointers and operator overloading in Java, these concepts are not there, but it is in the C++ concepts. According to me, these are not that much difficult. Many students will easily do this, but these concepts are not there in Java because some students don't understand these concepts, so it is not there in Java basically. But there are many students are also there who can easily understand and do these concepts. So whatever the little bit difficult concepts are there in C++, that has been either left in C++ or re-implemented in easier way in Java. Okay, let's go to the next feature, that is object oriented. So if I explain this object oriented in simple way, I will explain this in this diagram, through this diagram, so that you can understand it easily. Think that the whole universe, whatever the whole universe is there, think that it is a very big entity and it is as class. Think it is that big entity is as class, that is universe. In that many galaxies are there in the universe. So think one galaxy as Milky Way galaxy, that is object. So the Milky Way galaxy represent the universe. So the universe is a very big entity, so that is class. In that universe, one small Milky Way galaxy is there, that is object, which represents the universe. Okay. Now consider the Milky Way galaxy as big entity and it became class. In that Milky Way's galaxy, many planets are there. We will take one planet called Earth, and that is object. So that represents the Milky Way galaxy. Now suppose think it as Earth is big entity. So in Earth many countries are there. So India is the object and Earth is the class. So India represents the Earth. Similarly, take India as the big entity, very big entity, so it became class. So in India many states are there. Suppose they take Delhi. Delhi is an object which represents the India. So similarly, whatever the big entity is there, in that one small thing is there, that is called as object, that represents the big entity. Okay, I hope this you have understood the diagram. In Java everything is in the form of object. Yes, whatever I have told you just now, that is everything is in Java, everything is in the form of object and class, that is object. Java can be easily extended as it is based on object model. Means if you have created any software in Java, if you want to add any kind of new features, you can add it easily. Okay, following are some basic concepts of object, class. These two just now I have told. The remaining are inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction and encapsulation. These all things we will see in detail. This object, including object and class, and these all the basic concepts we will see in detail in coming videos. Okay, on that time we will understand clearly. Till now this is enough. Okay, next feature is robust. Java makes an effort to eliminate error prone codes by emphasizing mainly on compile time error checking and runtime checking. But the main areas which Java improved where memory management and mishandled exceptions by introducing automatic garbage collector and exception handling. If I explain this in easier way so that you can understand, suppose think that you have written a software. In that software, the error coming chances are there. There are many chances to come an error. If the error comes, the program may stops or collapse. So in Java, there is a unique feature called exception handling. This is a unique feature that is called exception handling. This feature, what it will do, that the whatever the error comes, that it will handle the errors. Suppose if you have written a program, in the program many statements are there. In that suppose think that 10 statements are there. In that starting 2 statements are coming error. So this exception handling will handle that 2 statements. So the output, the whatever the error is there, that will not show in the output screen, but the remaining statements have been successfully executed. So whatever the 8 statements output is there, that will be shown. So this exception handling do the same work what now I have told now. So the another thing that is you should also remember, that is garbage collector. This I will explain in coming videos so that you will that you can understand clearly. So I have told you that to handle the errors, we will use the exception handling in the robust feature. Okay, we will go to the next feature, that is platform independent. As the name, only you can understand this platform which is independent. So let's see, unlike other programming languages such as C, C++, etc., which are compiled into platform independent programming languages, means you can write program on any machine and it can run on any machine. Okay, in C and C++, you have written a program. If that program will not run on any other machine, any other device, any other operating system, because it is not platform independent. But whereas in Java, it is platform independent. If you write a program in one device, it can run on another device. How? That is explained in this point. Let's see. On compilation, Java program is compiled into bytecode. Okay, the bytecode is platform independent and can be run on any machine. Plus this bytecode format also provides security. Any machine with Java runtime environment can run Java programs. Okay, on compilation, Java program is compiled into bytecode. So whatever the Java program you have written, that will be compiled. You will compile the Java program. After that, you will get the not all the output. First you will get the bytecode. When you compile the Java program, whatever you have written, first the written Java program which you will compile, then you get the bytecode. Okay, this bytecode will run on any machine. On any machine it will run. If it get JDK, whether no matter in other operating system also, whether it may be Windows operating system or Mac operating system or Linux operating system, if the bytecode get the JDK, then it can run any machine on any other machine. If I tell the full form of JDK, means Java Development Kit. JDK I will explain in coming videos. You should understand now. If you compile the Java program, then you get the bytecode. This bytecode, if it gets the JDK, then it can run on any other operating system. So this bytecode is platform independent. Okay, that only I have told. This bytecode is platform independent. If it has got JDK, then it can run on any platform, in any operating system, on any device. That's why it is called as platform independent, and can run on any other machine. Plus this bytecode format also provides security. Yes, this bytecode is very safe and it provides security. And any machine with Java runtime environment. Yes, just now I told JRE can run Java programs. Okay, there are 3 concepts: JRE, JVM and JDK. Just now I told that bytecode needs the JDK to run the program on other machines. Okay, These three things are there: JVM, JRE, and JDK, which I will explain in the coming videos. Just you have to understand that this much is, when you compile the Java program, it provides the bytecode, that is bytecode, which I will explain the bytecode in this video only at the end on the coming features. Okay, bytecode, and with bytecode you can run on any other machines this Java program. Okay, let's go to the another feature, security. Just now I have told in the previous feature, that is bytecode provides security. Let's see here only. When it comes to security, Java is always the first choice. With Java secure features, it enables us to develop a virus-free, temper-free system. Java program always runs in Java runtime environment with almost null interaction with system operating system. Hence, it is more secure. So when we compile the Java program, as I told, we get the bytecode, and that bytecode is more secure, that it is not easily hackable. So that's why many users go for Java to write the program. So hence it is more secure. It can't be easily infected by the virus, and hence it is virus free, and hence it is many users uses the Java program. So it provides the bytecode and it is very safe. That's why it provides security. Next we will go to the multi-threading. So as you have heard in the operating system, multitasking. What is multitasking? Doing these multiple tasks same time, means simultaneously, that it is called as multitasking. Similarly, in operating system it is called as multitasking. In programming it is called as multi-threading. Same work doing multiple tasks at the same time, it is called multi-threading in programming language. Let's see. Java multi-threading feature makes it possible to write a program that can do many tasks simultaneously at the same time. Benefit of multi-threading is that it utilizes same memory and other resources to execute multiple threads at the same time. Okay. In C and C++, we write the code in single threaded. Means only one program is there, that only one task it can be performed, its action and or its work. So in the multi-threading, if one program is there, that it can perform many tasks, 1 2 3 4. So the many tasks are performing the same program. So simultaneously the many tasks are performing the same program, and this is called multi-threading. Whereas in the C and C++, only single task is there, that is performing one program. But in the multi-threading in Java, the multi-threading it can do multiple tasks, 1 2 3 4. It can perform multiple tasks of each of one program simultaneously. Then it is called as multi-threading. I will explain one more time. If a program is if a task is performing its action on one program, then it is called as single thread, which is used in the C and C++, the program which we have written. So but in multi-threading in Java, the many tasks are performing its action on one program, many tasks, 1 2 3 4, it may be many tasks simultaneously at the same time in one program, then it is called as multi-threading. Okay, let's go to the seventh feature, architectural neutral. Compiler generates bytecodes which have nothing to do with a particular computer architecture. Hence, a Java program is easy to interpret on any machine. Just now I told that I will explain bytecode here. Just now I told that bytecode I will explain clearly. In architecture neutral, you will understand this. That only I told. This is the same thing. When you compile the Java program, when the Java program which you have written when you compile it, you get the bytecode, and this is very safe and secure. So whatever you write the program, while you are saving it, you will save it as in the extension .java. For example, you have written program and you have named it as something like program1.java. Like this you will save. When you compile the program, the automatic file will be generated called as .class. .class file will be generated, so it will be named as program1.class. Like this it will be generated. In the .class file, what it has been written, only the compiler knows. We don't know it. I hope you have understood the architecture neutral, and we will go to the last feature, that is portable. Portable means by the name only you can understand portable. Okay, transferring the data from one device to another. Java bytecode can be carried into any platform. No implementation dependent features. Everything related to storage is predefined. As it has told, the Java is platform independent. Why it is platform independent? Because we can execute the Java program which you have written in one device in the other device also. Why? When we compile the Java program, we get the bytecode. This bytecode should get the JDK. The JDK we get from the or Linux or Mac operating system or any kind of other software, Windows also. So the bytecode needs only JDK, no matter which we get from where it is, which operating system. So it can be run on any other operating system. So it is portable. So whereas C and C++ programs are not portable, and it is not independent. So this Java is independent. Okay. As I told in this feature, Java is platform independent. So you can write this similarly here also. Java is portable because it can run on any other device also, which has the same, if the operating system has the JDK. Okay, I hope you have understood this. If you like the video, if you have any kind of doubts, please feel free to comment below. The comment section is open for you all only. If you like the video, if you have any kind of doubts, please comment, and please subscribe the channel. Our channel is totally new. We want your support, and hit the like button, and we will see you in the next video.